Boker Tov, everyone. A little more morning Torah, very early morning Torah. This week's Torah portion was Rabbi Eric Solomon, Raleigh, North Carolina. This week's Torah portion is Tazria. It's a book of Leviticus. It's one of the more challenging Torah portions for Bar Mitzvah children because it deals a lot with issues of the body and medical issues, leprosy, impurities, or whatever. Not necessarily leprosy, but that kind of idea, skin diseases. Also, it's Shabbat HaChodesh. We actually say Hallel prayers because it's the new moon, the new month of Nisan, actually on Shabbat. And we read a special portion on Maftir dealing with the calendar. Anyway, all this is to say is this big Shabbat, which has 3 Torah scrolls, 3 Sifrei Torah, uncommon, not common, because of all the different readings, really is preparing us for Pesach. Pesach is about 2 weeks from now. And so I want to talk about Passover. And Passover, there's just so much. In fact, I might spend a couple morning Torahs talking about it next couple weeks, but there's so much about Passover. I want to talk about one thing. Moshe, one piece of Moses, our teacher, Moshe Rabbeinu, Moses, our teacher. So remember when, Moses' story, a baby, Pharaoh is going to kill the firstborn children, males. His mother, Yocheved, puts him down the Nile, gets picked up, Pharaoh's palace. He realizes he doesn't really fit in, even though he's kind of being groomed to possibly be the successor for Pharaoh. He doesn't like it. He defends his Hebrew people. He's struggling. And eventually escapes because he actually kills a taskmaster. Escapes to the desert, to Midian, etc. Eventually goes to the burning bush. And, basically at that burning bush moment, which is like this unbelievable, he's like, he's really lost. He's a Hebrew, but he spent most of his life in the Pharaoh's palace with the Egyptians. He left his family, or he was forced to leave his family, escape essentially. So he feels caught between worlds, a poor slave family, but he lived a life of luxury or privilege, we'll call it. But then he basically goes back to his Hebrew roots, but he doesn't even feel comfortable with them because he didn't, he's part of the Hebrew people, our people. He doesn't feel comfortable, that's why he escapes. He basically has I don't call it midlife crisis, but early life crisis. What is my identity, he says. Who am I? What do I want to be? What am I about? And the main thing about Moshe is he just doesn't fit in anywhere. He's not part of Egypt. He's not really part fully of Bnei Israel, the children of Israel. He's stuck. And so he goes into Midian. He meets Jethro, Yitro, and has this burning bush moment. And the burning bush, God basically says to him, listen, Moshe, you're it. You're the one that's going to free our people, or my people. And Moshe thinks, you kidding me? I'm chopped liver. I can't do that. I can't do it. First of all, I have a tongue speech impediment issue, kaved peh. Second of all, they're not going to listen to me. Both Pharaohs don't listen to me, but even the Hebrew people, they're not going to listen to me. I'm mamash nothing. I'm taka nothing. But God basically says to him, don't worry, I will be with you. I believe in you. And Moshe has to make a decision. What does it mean God believes in me? I'm the last person that the people want or believe in or feel connected to. I'm the last person that Pharaoh is going to listen to. He's angry at me. I'm a traitor. So Moshe's of many qualities. He's a person who doesn't fit in. He feels excluded. He feels on the outside. And he says, as an outsider, I can't go in there and fix things because no one will accept me. And what God basically says to Moshe, if you just look at it writ large, big adol, says to Moshe, because you don't fit in, because you're different, because you lived in different societies where you don't feel a part of any of them, because of that feeling of being an outsider, being a stranger, by the way, named one of his children with Zipporah, his wife, in Midian. Gershom, I was a stranger there. He feels like a stranger. Because of that, he is the one to free our people. Because he knows what it feels like to not be included. And when you really go down to the depth of that, what that means is, in those places in ourselves where we feel weakest, or the most struggling, or the most suffering, that potentially could be a place for our greatest gift to the world. You know, there are people here in my shul with enormous suffering, personal suffering, health issues, all kinds of things. And some of the most adaptive people take their suffering, if they have the wherewithal to do it physically, say, I've suffered a particular way, I've struggled. Instead of seeing that as a source of shame or embarrassment or why I'm not worthy, I'm going to use what I've struggled with and what I've learned from my struggle to try to help others, because I know I'm not the only one struggling. And that's what Moshe had. Moshe knows what it was like to be a stranger, an outsider, and he said, I'm going to go save and help the people that feels the most outside, the Hebrews. He took his greatest struggle personally, and he made it into his greatest gift, into his greatest blessing. We all can be like Moshe. It doesn't have to be big on the big stage, but in small ways. What is something you struggle with? Something where you feel you lost, suffered, struggled, didn't succeed. Can you turn it into a way to be a gift for others and for the world? That's the message of Moshe. What a teacher. With God's help. Tov, everyone. Shabbat Shalom. Kol Tuv. May we all be blessed to turn our struggles into gifts.